even though you guys look up to me and be like, yo bro, you've done something of significance, I am the underdog in this pool. Today guys, I'll be hitting you guys with a Q&A, very simple, very straightforward. I got my coffee, I'm ready to go. I'll keep this very simple and very concise and hopefully answer a majority of the questions that you guys have. So, okay, first question, how do you work out how much you need to eat when you first started training? For me, my biggest mistake that I made when I was trying to grow was the fact that I was not eating enough calories. I was eating plenty of protein, carbs, and moderate fat. However, I missed out on a big opportunity to really bulk up and gain some good size by potentially bumping up my calories a little bit more. However, I eat very, very clean. Firstly, they're very nutritionally dense, but to consume that in volume is very difficult. So that was my biggest mistake when I started, and that is in order to calculate how much you should be eating. An online calculator is very useful. I'll probably put one in the description box to help you guys out. So, next question, Manchester United or Liverpool? Manchester United, purely because a bunch of my friends support Manchester United, and Liverpool, I don't know. I've always been a Chelsea fan. Alright, next, what software do I use to edit my videos? I get this question every single day, daily. So, when it comes to editing my content, I use Final Cut Pro. So if you're an Apple user, if you have a MacBook Pro, by all means, you should be using Final Cut Pro. If you're a Windows user, Premiere Pro and After Effects are an option for you guys. They're a little bit more on the complex side and not as intuitive as Final Cut. But hey, you guys start creating. That is the first step. So, future ambitions for me is to grow my business to a level where it will be something significant, something with purpose, and something with a real intention to make a shift in the industries, because there's multiple things. But as a whole, business is my biggest ambition right now. It's my biggest focus. It's the biggest pivotal point for me, and it's something that I've been very involved in, especially this year. Bear in mind, guys, I've started many businesses in the past and they've all been a huge fail. Again, we learn, we move, and we progress. But this year's been a huge pivotal point and we're growing. And I'm so grateful for the people that I have around me that are allowing me to do what I'm doing and actually try to achieve this ridiculous madness. Is there a way that I can describe it? So we can actually change lives, so we can actually make an impact. Again, through the process, self-development, and actually growing as an individual. That's something that I talk about and promote a lot. Yo, I feel like that's kind of deep. Alright, okay, what's my advice for an individual that wants to start or become an influencer? Woo! This is going to be interesting. In this current climate, a lot of people want to become an influencer. A lot of people want to become an individual of significance within their space, within their niche. For me, this thing was unintentional initially, and then it transitioned to be this thing. When I started spending more time actually trying to build myself, the gym really became a significant thing to a point where that actually surpassed my other ambitions, my other goals, because I was hooked to it. So through that process, I've discovered all these iconic figures. I was like, okay, I want to aspire to be the best version of myself. So I literally visualized myself on a poster as a superhero. And I was like, that's what I want to go for. So I just carried on documenting my journey without the real intention of growing a following, but just to create cool videos. Literally, that was the goal, just to create cool videos. And what you know, those videos were getting a lot of attention, a lot of people were resharing them. Obviously then I was only like 2,000 followers, but again, that was pretty big. And then when I came to uni, I went from 5, 10, 15, 20, 50K, 100K, and boom, the whole thing just skyrocketed in a space of 4 years. Now I've been in social media for about 6 years. So it was unintentional. Like literally guys, I didn't have the goal of, I want to be an influencer like most people do now. It just happened. But to give you the advice for the people that want to do this thing, it's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of persistence, consistency, and some serious passion. You need to love what you're doing, otherwise this is not gonna last. But one thing that most people forget, that within this process, the intention and the why needs to be the main objective. Why are you doing it? What's the real reason behind what you're trying to do? But if you want to become an influencer, be consistent, start creating content, find your narrative, what's your agenda, why are you on social media, and make sure you're passionate about the subject or the niche which you're going into, whether it's fitness, whether it's fashion, whether it's photography, whether it's tech, whether it's business. And when you do that, make sure you're helping people before you ask for anything back. Guys, gotcha. Okay. Next question. Okay, what's your split and why? My split is bro split. Why? Because it's very simple, very easy to follow, and it promotes longevity because of its simplicity. Applying the principle of progressive overload is my favorite split. Again, there's always an argument whether it's optimal or not. However, I definitely know it's the most sustainable and the most fun of all the programs that I haven't done, but I choose to do bro split because I like it. You know, at the end of the day, it's it's how much are you enjoying the process and how much are you learning from it will get you the results which you're looking for. Tips on how to eat more. So if you want to eat more progressively increase your meals. This is a very simple process. So if you start off with 50 grams, 3 weeks later, bump it up by 10, and so on, progressively increase your food load. So for me, I started off with eating 3 eggs. Then I remember I was eating 5, and then I was eating 8, 12, and 14 was like the highest amount of eggs that I was eating per sitting for my breakfast, with 80 to 110 grams of oats at the time. But now, of course, I've tapered down to something more sustainable. But I did that for like 4 years when I went to uni. But certain things are just not necessary because you can take away the quantity and apply it somewhere else, whether it's more bananas, more oats, or more rice. But progressively increase your food. That's the quickest way to eat more food. How much HIIT or cardio do you do a week? I don't really do a lot of cardio. Actually, I do. So during this lockdown, I've been walking every single day. So that's a form of cardio. So LISS, low intensity steady state cardio has been my form of cardio at the moment. I spoke about HIIT in the past. I enjoy HIIT training because of playing basketball, football. We always did, high intensity interval training. Can I keep progressing with the same rep range, or do I have to switch it up? Yes and no. So you can keep the same rep range, but there has to be a progressive element. So at some point you need to increase the weight. But if you're looking to grow, ideally anywhere between 6 to 8 reps, heavy load, progressively increasing, is the most effective way to gain muscle. If only it is the only way to gain muscle. Best budget bulk foods for skinny students. My guys, been there, done it. Okay, this is probably one of my favorite topics. The best budget foods for growing as a student. Rice. Write it down right now. Rice, pasta, potatoes, oats, bananas. You have to have bananas somewhere in your diet. So lean minced beef for your protein, chicken breast and chicken thighs for your protein, and fish again, but that's less calorie dense. So really the most calorie dense proteins are your chicken thighs, your chicken legs. Chicken breast is very lean but it's still high in calories, and lean minced beef, and of course your broccoli. Those for me were the staple foods for my diet. And of course things like cottage cheese, great source of protein, and tuna, very cheap and very affordable. So yeah, keep it very simple. Hopefully those foods should help you summarize the types of foods that you should be consuming. How many times do I eat a day and how many calories? So I eat 6 to 7 meals, which equates to 4,200 calories, more or less. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by projects, things to deliver, etc.? Yes. So this year was the first time ever I've questioned myself, I've doubted myself, I felt lost. So I finished my degree, went straight into this. My life is so busy and hectic where it's very easy to get distracted in what you're doing, so you don't really get the opportunity to sit down and look. And I realized I haven't been doing that. I've been taking a moment to reflect. So I took a moment to reflect, especially the second lockdown. I went through this whole pivotal point, looked at everything, how far I've come, the things I've done, the people around me, and what the goal is. And yes, it does it does become overwhelming, especially at this level. And I feel like as you grow, the more pressure comes with it. So I made a caption about make sure the shoe fits. So that analogy is an example of make sure what you set out to do, you're actually capable and you can actually maintain that. Because if the shoe doesn't fit, you ain't gonna last very long. You're gonna fall. So for me, it's like, okay, I've built this platform, this empire at a small scale. But even then, for what's happening, there's a lot going on. For your business and being the director and managing people is very, very difficult. Now I'm beginning to realize that. But everything else in your life needs to keep ticking. You need to keep making content. You need to make sure everyone's doing what they're doing and make sure that you're still chasing your goal. So yeah, now I have a better understanding of me as an individual, how far I've come and what the goal is and the people around me. So now I have a clear intention of what I want, how I want it, and how to get it. But yeah, it does become overwhelming, just to let you know, but you just have to be ready for it. And you have to judge the situation before it comes. How do I pay for a cameraman? Great question, Rob, tell him. So Rob, aka my right hand man, is my current cameraman. How do I afford this? So initially I couldn't. So I had to just be like, yo, Rob didn't know how to use a camera initially. This was like 3 years ago. So I was like, Rob, can you just film my set? Majority of the time I'll just ask anyone in the gym, be like, yo, film this set for me. And I'll take it upon my editing skills to make best use of that footage. So you don't need a cameraman, but you need to have the confidence to ask people. How you approach people and how you deal with people and how you conversate with people could really put you in a good place. So I wouldn't just be like, yo, film my set. I'll make sure that I'll really build a relationship with the individual so that I actually understand why I'm doing it. And of course, if they're feeling nice on that day, they'll do it. So I'm like, yo, can you film my set? Because it will truly mean a lot to me and explain why. And of course, people will film for you. Yeah, they just stand there with a camera and then I'll take advantage of the footage in post and do my editing tricks and got the content. All right, okay, apart from consistency, what other tips do you have for fitness, small fitness pages? If you're a small page, focus on being very, very precise and obsessive with your content to a point where your content is bigger, better than the big dogs. Because eventually those people will turn around and look at you and be like, how are you doing it? That's the kind of stance that I've always took. Be the underdog. I am the underdog. One day I'll be able to explain why. But build and create the best content for yourself with the intention of helping people or educating people, or purely from a selfish perspective, just focus on yourself and it will come. You know, that's how the world works. Are you natural? Yes, I am. 100% natural, bro. I'll always be, I believe, like I have no influence or any ambitions being enhanced. Like it doesn't work, it doesn't help me. Yes, I understand I'm in the fitness space, but I genuinely don't think it's worth it. And I'm pretty sure other people will too. And there's probably people out there that regret it, but that's none of my business. I am not a competitive bodybuilder. Okay, how do you relax outside the gym? Very good question. So, as you know, if you checked out my last video in this space, I moved into this beautiful apartment. How do I relax? I don't know, man. I like on the weekends, I'm either working or on my laptop or planning something, so I don't really get time to lay low. But when I do get an opportunity with friends, we go for food, it's training, or I will just watch Netflix. How do you get sponsored? How do you get sponsored? So, in the social media world, it's based on content, you as an individual and how good you are at something, and how much of a following or an influence you have at different levels, obviously. But the most significant thing and the most important thing, if I'm sponsoring an individual, I need to be confident that individual is going to be here for a while, so they're in it for the long run. They're very good at what they do, they're very consistent, they have a passion for what they do. They're helping people and influencing people. You know, I can look up to them, I can turn to them for opportunities to get answers, to be motivated, to be inspired. The brands which you choose to work with should have relevance somewhat in your life. GYMSHARK is relevant to me because I go to the gym and I wear gym clothes. Muscle Foods is relevant to me because I need food to survive. And food is the foundation of the things that I do. My protein, I go to the gym, and my protein has been relevant since I started at 16. So I have a strong connection with these brands in terms of we align in our goals and objectives. So it's very easy to make those decisions. Very simple. Be creative. It will make it much easier. And be very professional. Alright guys. Yeah guys, I'm gonna have to leave it there because this has been 1 hour of filming. Guys, it's all about checking out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Anything you need will be in the description box. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. If you don't follow me on Instagram, feel free. My Instagram handle will be right there. Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. I'm going to be making a big transition to invest more content into those platforms, so do stay tuned for that. But yeah, you can find me on every platform online. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.